Hello people, and welcome back to my series of videos regarding the Flexi eboard by Slick Revolution. So, I don't know if you have seen my videos yet. If you haven't, I'll let you know. Obviously, I received the box and the board yesterday. I have unpacked it, done a video on that. I didn't plan on taking the board out anytime soon because the weather was really bad, but in the morning was actually nice and dry on the ground, and I have taken the board out with me to work. So I traveled from home to the station, from station to the job place, and actually had quite a bit of fun around the work area. The work in Greenwich at the moment, so I did ride the board up and down the Thames, right next to the Thames, and this couple of short videos on YouTube at the moment. The one that I've done in the morning, not the best quality, but bear in mind that was my first time riding the board, any board, skateboard or the electrical board, and having a camera at the same time in hand, and pitch black around you, which is a couple of lights on, so I don't think I've done so bad. But anyway, so this is just a quick video. A summary of the day. So, as you can see, a bit of dirt in the wheels so far. Yeah, had the board out. A couple of wet patches on the road. A couple of really tough patches actually I have went over with this board with. It was actually a surprise because I was just riding the board, and there was a couple of weird, I did call them in my video like cobblestones, but they're not. There's some sort of like a weird shaped stone, I guess to slow people down if they're on the bicycles, or maybe some other means of transportation. But I did notice a couple of those, and actually went right over them. They're quite deep. There's a short video on YouTube, you can take a look, but this board handled it really well. So what I will do is, this purpose of this video is not just you guys watching me taking the dust off and dirt off the wheels of this board, but to actually give you a first impression of, after having the board with me for a day. I had it on underground, I had it on my back, I was using the backpack that comes with it. So I will run through quickly a couple of things that I've noticed so far. They are honest opinions. Please don't judge me if you don't agree with them, but if you do, well, I guess happy days. So let's mix and match. One negative: there was a nice little sticker here that yesterday that did say Slick Revolution, and there used to be some sort of voltage stuff on it and some sort of barcode and everything else. Unfortunately today it is gone. Not a big deal, I didn't like it anyway. It was some sort of chromy looking sticker. It's gone now. Well, doesn't matter to me, but if it was some sort of important part of information, or this barcode is actually needed, well, it is gone. Anyway, so it's not negative as such, but it's something that fell off the board in the use of one day. Bang. Positive: definitely very flexible board, or flexible to a good limit, I would have thought. I'm quite a heavy bloke, and I definitely felt the board flexion under me, and it did take a lot of vibration and impact. So yes, it's definitely truly flexible board, definitely flexible deck on this board, and this slotted battery does allow for this board to flex. So yes, it is definitely flexible board, which is happy days. Let's mix it up with a negative, which is not actually negative, it's negative and positive. I know it sounds strange, but it is negative and positive. So you probably noticed them cool gloves on my hands with the British flags on them. I would definitely recommend for guys and girls who've got this board or will get this board to use gloves every time you handle the board. Simply for the reason of you don't want your fingers and thumbs to look like this. I don't know if you see it or not. See all these white little marks on the fingers that you actually use to grab the board, and here it's actually went straight down to the blood. My fault. The pure reason for these marks is the sandy coating on the board is very, very sharp. Very sharp. It has to be. Hence why I said positive and negative, because this sharpness has to be there. This board is very powerful. The engines or motors on them are very powerful. So if your boots or shoes, sneakers, whatever you want to call them, don't stick properly to the top of this board, you will slide off. As soon as you hit the forward button, if you're not careful enough, that board just goes. It's good. It's a powerful board. So this friction or high friction is required for your safety. But at the same time, obviously your skin is not made to handle this kind of surface at all the times. So when you take the board out of the bag or you're trying to lift it, obviously using same fingers over and over, and from just the use of one day and putting the bag and showing my mates the board, and you're grabbing it just like that, twisting it about, you are grabbing onto the board, and I can feel it. There's definitely skin, quite a bit of skin off my fingers. I'm obviously not gonna die, but just a precaution. As a precaution, guys, please use gloves when you do handle the board. Definitely use something more like a bike or a push bike kind of glove types with protection when you're actually riding the board, because if you come off, the first thing you do, you will land in your hands, and yes, you will damage them. So it's not a negative. It's positive and a negative. The grip on this surface is superb, absolutely superb. I was sticking to this board with my feet like no tomorrow. It was definitely felt nice grip, no movement there whatsoever. But if I had to, I just come off it. So it's not sticky. It's like a sharp sand. Also, the shape of this board. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. There's actually a shape to this. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's actually a shape like a W shape, I would have thought, to this deck. So when you're standing on it with your feet, you actually feel quite comfortable, because where your foot curves up, that's where the real raise is, and when two areas here, when it dips in, that's where your heel of your foot and your toes are. So it is it's comfortable. So that's positive as well, I guess. So that is great. What else I wanted to cover? One more thing I have noticed within one day of having a board is, and I'm not saying it's negative because I'm not quite sure if it's a problem yet or not. I've already spoken to engineer at Slick Revolution, and he will get back to me. One thing I've noticed is when I was riding the board for about half an hour, I've used about half a battery, and what I have noticed that one of the wheels started to make a little bit different noise from another one. And as you can see, this wheel here moves with a bit of a like a not rattly, but like a tight belt type of noise, and this one here just moves really freely, which is not bad. But if I would apply pressure to the belts on one side and the belt on another side, this one here feels much more loose. It could be absolutely fine. It could be because belt got stretched or something else. I am not saying it's an issue, so please do not panic. This is not an issue because board performs absolutely fine. Just on this side makes a little bit different noise to what I've experienced for the first part of the day. So as soon as I get sorted out, I will do another video just to kind of show you guys what the problem was, or was the problem at all or not. But as you can see, if I would press on this belt here, it is quite soft, and with the same pressure on this side the belt doesn't move or flex as much. So as I said, as soon as I find out what it is, I probably will do another video, mention that within the next video. But overall, the board was used today for quite a bit. I'm heavy bloke, definitely love the speed. I did not go to this 30 kilometers or whatever it was, 22 miles an hour setting yet. I'm not comfortable with doing that as yet. To me at the moment, the lowest setting that does go, I believe it was 10 kilometers or something like that an hour. It was fast enough for me, it was enjoyable, I felt safe, but at the same time thrilled because it was fast enough. Beautiful board, had a lot of compliments from people on the street. A lot of people, well, quite a few people stopped and asked me what it is, and funny enough they did straight away ask me if this is the boosted board. I actually probably turned around and said no, it is not. This is British created, British based company, and it is not boosted board. It's a Flexi eboard by Sleek Revolution. And yeah, so far happy with the board. Still got half a battery. Remote work quite well. Actually, about remote, one thing which is a little bit negative: remote, that big button on the top of the remote, I don't have it with me at the moment. Actually, sorry, here it is. This big button on the remote, what does happen quite often with it, I'm going to take these gloves off, they're not stupid, they're good when you handle the board, you don't need them now. So this big button, obviously you press this for a second to turn the remote on. But what happens if you put this remote in the pocket of your jacket or in the back pocket of the jeans or whatever not for a short time period? If you sit down and move, it takes very little for this button to get pressed. So I have noticed today throughout the day, when I left the remote off in my pocket, I used to find it back on, even though I did not mean for it to be on. So that would be wasting your battery, and the remote will just be in your pocket, pressed, and it will be live. So if you don't notice for at least half a day or a day while you're at work that your remote is on, I assume it will be using the battery, so you could be caught by surprise by saying, oh my god, remote, I just charged it, why the hell is it not actually operational? That's because the button does get pressed very easily in your pocket. Okay, so not saying it's negative, I just have to be careful, I guess, but just something that popped up twice. I've noticed that being like that. But in general, as I said, beautiful board, absolutely love it. Definitely flexible, definitely fast, powerful enough. Brakes are awesome. You gotta get to know them brakes, but I did learn to ride this board to quite a comfortable level, I would say within half an hour, 40 minutes. And I now kind of ride with much more confidence. And bear in mind, I have not ridden any skateboards or special electrical boards ever. Okay, so here we go. Quick review. We actually didn't come out to be as quick, but I like to be thorough and I like to be honest as well. So guys, please don't take offense if I mention something that maybe someone didn't like. But again, it's my board and this is my opinion. And so far so good. I am happy. Couple of little bits. I'm sure those bits will be sorted out. And that's it. I'll see you shortly if I will decide to do any more videos on this beautiful board. Right before we go, let's just do a quick, come on, don't let me down like that, a quick peace.